Alright, today we're in the studio, and this is another episode of Fuck Yeah Industrial. So, what are we doing today? We're getting into the song .execute. This time we're doing the synth. For this song, there's actually only one synth in this song, one synthesizer sound, and it is a pad sound. I do just want to preface this with this particular sound was a preset I used in my synthesizer, but I figured what I would do is I'm not going to show you the mixing chain or the mixer this time around because I didn't do anything to the sound. I left it as is, that it was the way it was programmed in my synth. Like I said, it is a preset, so I'm going to show you some of the parameters, and I will also preface this with the synthesizer I use is a Yamaha Ex7, and it's basically a sampling synthesizer. It kind of has the same architecture as the Yamaha Motif series, but this is the predecessor to the Motif, and it's essentially a sampling synthesizer. So it uses most of the sounds within the synthesizer are waveforms, sampled waveforms, or sampled sounds of from various sources that kind of make the way that the synth works is that, or at least a portion of the synthesizer, you basically put all these different small little snippets of sounds together, and these samples together, and it makes up a complete sound. So I'm going to turn the camera and we're going to take a look at the screen on the synth, and I'll show you some of the settings of this preset. I'm not going to show you all of them because there is a lot of menu diving, and I quite frankly don't want to dive through all the menus, and to be quite honest with you, some of the settings I'm not entirely sure exactly what they do, because I just don't know, because I've never used them before. So but I will show you, and just to give you an idea of what it's kind of generally about, and that'll be what today's video is about. So let's get to it. So as you can see, this is the screen on the Yamaha EX7. As you can see, it's this is the preset. This is a pad. PD on this synthesizer stands for pad. I do not know what the standard, I don't even know if other synthesizers have this kind of labeling, but it is called the Futopia Pad, and this is what it sounds like in the song, so you get a better idea of the actual sound that I used, the actual notes and stuff that I used for this song. Let's play a little bit. So this, as you heard there, that is kind of what I did for the song. That's not the entire synth line, but that's I just thought I'd give you an example just to give you an idea of what it sounds like in the song. That is the intro of the song. So I'll show you some of the presets. Like I said, I'm not going to show you them all to you. The Yamaha EX7 is a sample-based synthesizer. There is some other forms of synthesis in this. There's like virtual analog type stuff as well in here, but it's this particular but it's mostly sample based. So we'll just hit the edit button here. So as you can see here, hopefully you can see that. This is essentially the internal architecture of the sounds. There's an oscillator, there's pitch, there's filter, then amp, and then there's an effect. And depending on how the effects work, it can kind of loop back, and then there's a reverb and chorus type effects on here. So we'll get into the basics here. Okay, so yeah, so this is actually, now that I'm looking at it, it's actually it is actually a different type of synthesis. This is an FDSP synthesized sound, which uses the effects within the synthesizer to kind of create, at least my understanding of it is to kind of create the sound. As you can see here, it's a mono, or sorry, it's a poly sound, so it's polyphonic, which means you can play multiple keys at the same time. And I'm not sure what that setting is. Volume, depth, and I'm not sure what the other thing is there, but let's go into the oscillator. So as you can see here, this is the sample type stuff I was talking about. There's an ensemble sound in here. I'm not sure what that exactly these sounds do. This looks like it's a brass sound. This is a vocal type noise sound. Yeah. I can't really show you how these sounds were created, because they are samples, or micro samples, whatever you want to call it, or sampled waveforms of different sounds, and they kind of combined together, they make up the complete Futopia sound. So, but I'll just go into another menu here within this. I'm going into a sub menu. So there's a mix in here. As you can see where the cursor is, there's levels. You can set your levels, and these are kind of the levels of the sound. I think the highest level is 127. Yep, 120. Yep, 127. I think that might be standard for most synths, but I really don't know, because quite frankly I only own one other synthesizer, and it's a Yamaha DX100. So, and I barely use the fucking thing. So, and then there's zones here. This is all key stuff, so I'm not going to show you that. And then there's pitch. The next thing is pitch. And then of course you can fine tune your pitch and get it really kind of to what the sound the pitch you want it to be. And that's just kind of what it is. Scale, I'm not sure what this is. I don't know what that is. Oops. Let's go back. And then filter. As you can see, there is a high pass. Oh, it's a low pass, high pass shelf. So there's cutting on both ends. It looks like. Oh no, there's gain. There's gain. Yeah. Okay. They're boosting. So this I do not know. This is a decay, I think. I don't know. Yeah, some of these I don't even know what they are, because to be quite honest with you, like I said, this is a preset. The parameters are, there's all kinds of different parameters in here. I don't quite know this particular type of synthesis. I know it's FDSP, but I don't know, and I know it uses the effects as a way to kind of create your sounds. But I don't, I've never actually created one of these types of sounds, so I guess I'm just showing you some of the parameters. There's the levels again. Some of these things repeat in the various some of these parameters repeat in the various different menus and submenus, just so it's easier for you to manipulate the sounds and stuff. There's velocity here, and then the velocity of the key, when you hit a key and stuff like that, and you can change all that in there. Let's go into scale. Nothing changed there. Not sure what this is. I think that might be an envelope of some. It's obviously an envelope of some sort, but I honestly I'm not sure what exactly. I don't know what the EG stands for in the synth, because I don't think I've ever used that parameter. So, and then there's LFO. This it's on. So it's using a triangle low frequency oscillator, and as you can see here, I think its speed is 27. Not sure what that means. That could be BPM. I'm not entirely sure. The second LFO is on, and actually just a sec here. Yeah, it's on. It's another triangle. Speed is 30. Yep. That's it for that. And then let's see here. That doesn't matter. There's a control thing in here, basically, in this synthesizer. Just a sec. Yeah, in this synthesizer you can choose. There's a bunch of knobs and stuff on here, and mod wheels and pitch wheels and stuff, and you can pick what modulation they all kind of what mod parameters they kind of affect, and like your cutoffs and all that kind of stuff, or even other things within the synthesizer. This is not like a modular. It's definitely not modular in that sense. You can't just like plug one thing into the other and expect a result. There is no programming in here for that. So they have a certain set things that you can do with it, and yeah, it's not modular or digital modular or whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what the right term is. Virtual modular? I don't even know. Not semi-modular, nothing like that. I know the Nord modular is a digital modular or not virtual. Yeah, digital modular type synth, but this is not like the Nord. So, and then there's the effects, and oh, interesting. I think because this is a FDSP sound, it deals with the effects differently, but we can just look at the settings in here. Lots of different settings. Some of them I don't know what they mean. Honestly, sometimes when I'm making synth sounds, I just mess around and play with something until I find something that I like. Other times I have a goal in mind, and I just like, okay, I kind of know what I want to make, and then I try to use the parameters and change the parameters I think will change it the way I want it to, which is generally the case. And then I'll come in and manipulate things a little further in the effects, and just to get the kind of sound like the reverb or the chorus I'm kind of going for. If I use that, there's all kinds of other effects in here. Like if you see right here, I don't know if you can see that very well, but it says reverb hall. That's essentially a hall reverb. Gives the sound a bigger sound. Chorus, so it's a general chorus preset. But yeah, I think that's all I can really show ya. It's, like I said, I'm not familiar with the FDSP stuff, and this is a preset, so it's a preset, and I can only show you so much. When I get into stuff that I've made, I can go further because I know those sounds. But as far as these presets, I'm not all that familiar. I can just show you some of the parameters, and then you kind of have to decide if you're going to make something similar or figure out what waveforms, depending on, or sample types you're using to create sounds that sound like this, if that's what you're going for. So that is the sort of internal architecture of the preset that I used. Once again, I will say this: if you've seen our Why You Don't Find Industrial Music Production videos on YouTube or the internet, or why there's so few of them, the line of thinking I come from and the line of thinking that I've noticed within scene, industrial scene stuff, is that, they really encourage you to find your own voice, and I really encourage you to do that as well, because, it's, I can show you the way I do things, but ultimately you got to figure out what works for you, what your sound is, what sound you're going for, what's pleasing to your ear, what your voice is, not only your synthesizer and your drums and all that kind of stuff, but also your vocals, and what, or if you do vocals, but you gotta find your own voice, and I can show you what I do, but ultimately you gotta figure out what works for you, and I encourage originality, yeah. If you're curious, like I said, my synthesizer is a primarily sample-based synthesizer, so it uses small little sampled waveforms or sampled sounds or whatever, and they're put together in order to create whatever sound or a synth patch or whatever sound design you want to do, and that's just what it is. So there is another part in this song, .execute, that is a piano, I do believe, but I am not going to show you that, because quite frankly, programming pianos is a fucking nightmare. Like, I don't even know how to do it, and it's a lot of work, and quite frankly, I used a preset for that as well. So I think this concludes the .execute, what sounds and stuff I use for .execute. We're likely moving into another song after this video, and if you enjoyed these videos, please give it a like. If you have any questions or comments, if you have any questions about, more questions about the synth sounds, or even my synthesizer and how it works and all that kind of stuff, I'll try to give the best answer I can. Or you just have any things you want to say or comments regarding this particular song, or if you have any questions about other songs that you might want me to take a deeper dive into, let me know in the comments. If you feel this video has value, please share it, and if you find this channel has value, please subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified when the next video comes out. So see you in the next video. Fuck yeah. I'm Spider-Man, motherfuckers. Spider-Man. Not really. Although I got red in my eyes. Red and black. But that's not, it could be Spider-Man colors. I have no idea. I don't follow the Marvel Universe anymore. That was a long time ago. Anyway, see you later.